Hello everyone, welcome to the Crypto Intel channel. Today we'll be conducting a technical analysis of the KASPA coin and discussing the best entry points for today. Before we start the video, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and click the bell icon so you can always stay up to date on what's happening in the market. It takes you literally a second, but for me it's motivation to improve the quality and level of the videos on the channel. We have a lot to discuss, so let's get started right away. If we go deeper into the structure, it becomes clear that the current consolidation is not just sideways movement, but a process of redistribution between strong and weak market participants. In such phases, the market gradually pushes out weaker hands, leaving positions to those willing to hold longer. This increases the potential for a strong impulse. From a liquidity perspective, it is important to understand the location of stop zones. Above the range $0.038 to $0.040, there are stop orders of sellers and breakout liquidity. Below $0.033 to $0.032, there are stop orders of buyers. This creates a classic two-sided pressure situation where the market is almost forced to choose a direction. And the longer this phase lasts, the more liquidity builds up, which means the stronger the eventual move. Now pay attention to the nature of impulses inside the range. Previous upward movements were short-lived and quickly rejected, indicating the presence of sellers near resistance. However, each pullback becomes less aggressive. This gradually shifts the balance toward buyers. This behavior is often interpreted as hidden accumulation. Looking at the candlestick structure, we can observe decreasing lower wicks, tighter candle closes, lack of aggressive sell-offs. This suggests that selling pressure is weakening. Now, an important element, range dynamics. The range is not just holding, it is tightening. Highs are slightly decreasing, but lows are holding or rising. This creates a compression structure, similar to a triangle. Such formations often end with a strong breakout. Now let's consider liquidity behavior. There is a high probability that the market will first move against the majority expectation. If most expect growth, a false breakdown below $0.033 is possible. If most expect a drop, a false breakout above $0.040 is possible. This is done to collect liquidity before the real move. Therefore, the key signal is not the breakout itself, but the reaction after the breakout. If price leaves the level and quickly returns, it's a trap. If it holds above or below, it's the beginning of a move. Now looking at the higher time frame, globally KASPA is still within a structure of lower highs, indicating an unfinished bearish cycle. However, the absence of new aggressive lows suggests that selling pressure is fading. This may be an early sign of transition into an accumulation phase before a new cycle, but it's important to understand, a reversal is a process, not a moment. It requires breaking resistance, holding above it, forming a new structure. Without these conditions, any upward move remains a correction. Now about volatility. The current low volatility is one of the strongest signals of an upcoming move. The market cannot stay in this state for long, and the longer it stays compressed, the stronger the expansion will be. This is due to the accumulation of orders and expectations inside the range. Now short-term outlook. The most probable scenario in the near term is continued movement inside the range, with increasing pressure. The market may test both boundaries multiple times before choosing direction. However, the probability of a breakout increases over time. Key signals to watch. Volume increase on breakout, price holding outside the range. Acceleration after the move begins. Without these, any breakout may be false. Final structure. KASPA is currently in a state of liquidity balance, volatility compression, structural tension. This is not an action phase. This is the phase before action. These moments often get ignored because they look boring, but they are exactly where strong moves begin. The key factor remains unchanged. Range $0.033 to $0.040. As long as price is inside, the market is preparing. But once it breaks out, the move will be fast, directional, volatile, and that moment will define the next phase. If we continue the analysis, it becomes clear that the current structure represents a liquidity balance zone where the market is redistributing positions. These zones often precede strong impulses because stop orders, limit orders, and expectations accumulate within the range. From a liquidity standpoint, the upper boundary around $0.038 to $0.040 represents an area with stop orders from short positions. This means that a breakout above this zone can trigger acceleration driven by liquidations, not just organic demand. At the same time, the lower boundary near $0.033 to $0.032 holds long liquidity. A breakdown below would likely trigger cascading liquidations and a faster move toward deeper levels. Thus, the current structure is a compression between two liquidity pools. Looking at volume profile, the highest concentration of trading activity sits near the middle of the range, around $0.034 to $0.035. This indicates that the highest concentration of trading activity sits near the middle of the range, around $0.034 to $0.035. This indicates that the highest concentration of trading activity sits near the middle of the range, around $0.034 to $0.035. This indicates that the highest concentration of trading activity sits near the middle of the range, around $0.034 to $0.035. This indicates that the highest concentration of trading activity sits near the middle of the range, around $0.034 to $0.035. This indicates that the highest concentration of trading activity sits near the middle of the range, around $0.034 to $0.035. And friends, don't forget to leave your thoughts on the KASPA coin in the comments below this video, what your plans, hopes, and expectations are for it. The best and most engaging comment will be featured in the next video. Just a reminder, friends, informational and news videos are posted on the channel every day, so you won't get bored here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you're always up to date on all the latest news. And if you liked this video, please support me with a like. Your like is my motivation. Thanks to everyone for watching, and see you next time.